When I see the pictures on the news, I see the kids. I've been there, and I know that there are children whose lives are shattered. And I know that the children suffer the most.
Tell us your passion. Tell us about that. What is it that drives you?
It's the kids. It's when we really felt the Lord calling us to open our home to children, and then calling to adopt children internationally and welcoming home a sibling set of 4, and just seeing their lives transformed. And not even so much because of anything that my husband and I did, but just that we said yes and opened our home, and we saw that life transformation, that now they all have a hope and a future that they didn't have before. And I believe every child deserves that. JFO started as just 2 moms, 2 adoptive and foster moms, having a heart for children in crisis and wanting to engage the community to step up for kids. In the early days, we were doing a lot of advocacy, just talking to anybody who would listen, churches and organizations and businesses, and eventually we got an opportunity to be on a little local Christian radio station weekly with our radio show, Orphans No More, which is now our podcast. Now the podcast is the Adoption and Foster Care Journey, and it's a well sought after resource for adoptive and foster families. We hear from a lot of listeners who are feeling encouraged and equipped for their parenting journey, and I'm able to speak to those challenges specifically.
And it's so helpful when you're having a bad day and you feel like, oh, I messed up, I don't know what I'm doing. And you hear a mom on the podcast or a dad talk about the exact same thing and the same experiences, and it just makes you just don't feel like you're alone in your walk through foster care.
I've been listening to the podcast, the Adoption and Foster Care Journey, on and off for years. It's encouraging to hear other foster and adoptive parents explain what they're going through, so you're not alone.
The podcast is really a very large part of our organization because it's one resource that anybody can access at any time, and we hear from so many families that listen what a great support and resource it has been for them.
There's a lot of times as a foster mom where you just feel alone. You don't have a lot of people in your community that are walking down the same path as you are, and to be able to hear a weekly podcast of parents, just Christian parents too, that's another aspect, is just having the prayer life and knowing, types of devotions to do together. It's just an awesome resource to have that community.
Thank you for listening to the Lord and following Him, because you have impacted me, my family. Yep.
Your children have grown into now they're teenagers, and you personally maybe have faced some of the harder issues. You have gotten yourself trained, professionally trained. Tell us a little bit about that.
I took a deep dive into learning and studying the one thing I really didn't know that much about, and that was fetal alcohol spectrum disorders. It's very prevalent. It's often undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, but we started offering training. I went and got trainings, now a facilitator of the Facets neurobehavioral model, and I can bring training to parents, caregivers, and professionals in the child welfare system to be able to better understand and support and accommodate these kids.
JFO and the trainings that they offer, first I did the Empowered to Connect training. It really helped a lot because number one, I realized that I'm not alone, and that's really helpful.
So a lot of the things that are coming through the trainings and the resources and the podcasts will say, oh, okay, that's what's going on.
Tell us a little bit about CarePortal and what it is and how it works.
Very simply, CarePortal is an online technology tool. We engage local child welfare agencies where caseworkers are identifying families in crisis, children in need, and they will enter requests into our CarePortal platform.
Here in Greene County, we have absolutely embraced what JFO does through the CarePortal to keep our families together. What JFO has been able to do for us is to stabilize these families, these situations.
Our collaboration with JFO and CarePortal, I think, has allowed our caseworkers to directly connect volunteers from the faith-based community here in Greene County directly with the families in the county that are in need.
And the caseworkers enter those requests into our system, and then the CarePortal sends those requests out to all of our participating churches, which we have over 40 participating churches throughout the 4 counties that we're working in. And between the churches and the volunteers and local businesses and other organizations, people respond to those requests, provide the items for the families, deliver the items to the families, and become a support system within the community for the family.
Families in crisis need to know that people in their community care and want to be there to help them. And I think sometimes when people are in crisis, they feel alone. And knowing that there are people that live right near you that are willing to help when you need it, I think that makes all the difference.
We heard the term CarePortal mentioned, both curious about what it entailed, and I was struck by the fact that it's a missionary field that doesn't require going to India or Africa. You don't have to drive far. You can come home for dinner that same night.
We jointly do the CarePortals as a couple, and he takes care of part of what's expected, and I do the praying part and interacting with the caseworkers.
We weren't aware that Habitat for Humanity also had a warehouse of sorts on Fuller Road in Albany, where they receive donated items and they attempt to sell them. However, thanks to one of the CarePortal overseers, Restores decided to give them to churches that participate in CarePortal. Well, we found that to be a terrific resource.
I love the way you guys have it set up. That's really smart. I mean, it just keeps it like, come here, get what you can, and take it right to the family.
National Bank of Coxsackie feels it's important to support this organization because it makes our community stronger.
National Bank of Coxsackie invests in the communities that they serve. We feel that the more we contribute to the communities, the stronger the communities will be.
I think it's very vital for our church to participate in CarePortal. The church's job is really to step outside its own walls and serve those around them. And so CarePortal provides us with that opportunity to meet the needs of families and children right within our own community.
Our church has come together with JFO and CarePortal because really we find it to be just like a treasure, just a great opportunity. So CarePortal, I feel, kind of lays it out on a silver platter for us.
My experience with CarePortal was I got beds from them, and they delivered them to my house with sheets and blankets and pillows, and they even offered more.
I do see CarePortal as being an answer from God, really.
I'm so thankful for CarePortal, because if it wasn't for CarePortal helping me and my kids, I wouldn't be here today at Converge, which has changed my life completely.
Close your eyes and let down your defenses. You are safe here now in the Father's love. Rest your heart, let the mercy take you over. You are home here now in the Father's love. And never will I walk away, for nothing brings me pleasure more than just to sit and stay close